Okay, in addition to being booed off stage damn near at a recent rally, Tom Perez has really been batting 1,000. Mr. Tom, I misspoke, Perez. Like, I mean, honestly, the fact that this guy was chosen to head the DNC is absolute proof of how clueless the DNC or Democratic Party in general is about the direction that the country is headed. Because like various other people in recent history, Hillary Clinton, he is incapable of speaking in anything but platitudes. I think it might be a condition. Like he should seek professional help and analysis to see if maybe something could be done about this problem. Because at this point, it seems to be more than just it's a disorder. Like they say, OCD doesn't really become OCD until it disrupts your life. At least that's the way that I've heard. It's like, okay, if you're kind of a neat freak and maybe you kind of like twiddle doorknobs like 3 times every time you open it, if it's not adversely affecting your life, it's not really like to that level of being obsessive compulsive disorder. I think this guy, he's approaching platitude disorder because it's affecting his life. I wonder if he talks to his family in platitudes, like off the camera. Like, is it just on? Because it just seems like the way he does it is just, it's so cringeworthy. It's like it's so tone deaf and cringeworthy that I don't think it doesn't seem to be what was I saying? I lost the train of thought. The thought train has derailed. Put it back on the tracks. Okay, so it does, because it seems to me that like the way he's so like tone deaf and so like just ham-fisted with the platitudes that and the bullshit that just, it seems like this has got to be something like it just happens, like, Daddy, can I get a new RC car for Christmas? Well, I think that we can all we all believe in our values and that we value the idea that for Christmas we should get good things and not bad things. So yeah. Okay, but can I? Well, you see, when you have that hope is a good thing, and hope can be contagious, son. Like, fuck it, never mind. So anyway, he was doing an interview. Here's like the most stark contrast I think is possible between Bernie Sanders and the progressive sort of like Bernie Krat style part of the party of the people, and the establishment Tom Perez style, like Hillary Clinton kind of bullshit. So Tom Perez and Bernie Sanders did an interview with MSNBC, which MSNBC felt that the big takeaway for this interview was that Bernie Sanders said that he doesn't consider himself a Democrat, which is true. It's like something everyone has known. At least anyone who's aware of Bernie Sanders has known this for years, that he's an independent, he caucuses with the Democrats. It's not news, MSNBC. Not news. It's not, okay? We know. It's not the kind of thing that, like, that's the way, I'll put it, again, link to the video will be in the description, but that's how they titled it for YouTube, is Bernie Sanders, I don't consider myself a Democrat. All in MSNBC with Chris Hayes. Like, yeah, again, not news. But anyway, Bernie Sanders made a point to specifically mention, like, as he has a habit of doing, to specifically mention what the problems are what are causing the problems in this country and what needs to be, like, who and what needs to be handled to fix things. And then, Chris Hayes asks, like, what, basically just nice softball question. Like, really, Tom, all you gotta fucking do is say, yes, I agree with Senator Sanders. That's it. That's all you gotta say. That's all you got to say. That's it. If you just said that, we'd be happy. But no, of course not. Of course he can't just say that. Come on. Like, are you crazy? It's not, that wouldn't be a platitude. His eyes start twitching. He'd have problems. Like, it just, it loses shit. It's got to be it's got to be in the form. It's like the fucking like DC version of Jeopardy. Please answer in the form of a platitude. I'm sorry, that answer was factual, so it does not count. Please phrase your answer in the form of a bullshit platitude. And, never not one to disappoint. He does. So let me play you the clip. This is his answer. Like, even Chris Hayes is like, dude, this is kind of bullshit. But anyway, here we go.
This is what's key to me, and Tom, I want to hear you talk about this, because when you talk about this, there's a bad guy there. There's a villain in the story. There are people that are doing wrong by the American people. Donald Trump has a story where he's got villains as well, and they're different folks. Sometimes they're corporations, mostly they're immigrants and other people. Do you see the world that way, Tom? Is that the Democratic message? Do you think it's important, as the senator sitting next to you just said, to say the ruling class, his words, of this country, are basically screwing average folks?
Well, listen, when we put hope on the ballot, Chris, we win. When we allow our opponents to put fear on the ballot, we don't do so well. I believe that an economy has to work for everyone to be...
Hillary Clinton, no, this is my point. Hillary Clinton ran on hope. She ran on hope. It was a very hopeful message. And the point is, do you have to name the enemy? That's my question. Do you have to say, these are the people that are screwing you?
Well, listen, I think you're creating a false choice, Chris. What we have to do as Democrats is to articulate very clearly that Donald Trump's vision for America is a vision for the top 1% of the 1%. It's a vision that's divisive. When he talks about the Make It in America executive order, if you turn over the sheet on that executive order, it probably says Made in China.
Holy shit. Like, are you kidding me, Tom? Like, all you gotta say is yes. Or no. That's it. Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. Preferably yes. Do you need to name the enemy? Like, that's the whole problem. That's the whole issue, in my opinion, of like what the problem that the party has, and why Hillary lost, why we're in such deep shit right now as far as the Democratic Party is concerned. And that is because they won't actually specify. They won't say, hey, yeah, this is the problem. This is what we need to deal with. These are the people or the organizations that are harming this nation. And we need to take them on. We need to stop them. They won't do it. Mainly because that's who paid for them. That's who put them in office. And they don't want to upset the donors. But that's what's going to happen. That's what it's going to take. You can't be a party. You can't expect to win elections if you're a party that doesn't officially stand for anything. At some point you need to lay out what your fucking beliefs are. What is it? What do you stand for? What makes you a Democrat and what makes you not a Democrat? Where's the line? And I've mentioned this before, that it's like this whole, we're a big tent party, everyone's welcome, all viewpoints are welcome. No, they're fucking not. No, they're not. Alright, we don't have the viewpoint of trying to ban abortion. That's Republican shit. You support that, you go deal with the Republicans. If you feel that, and so on a situation, if you're against if you're against gay marriage and LGBT rights, go join the Republicans or do something else. You're not welcome here. That's pretty much the sort of unsaid officially. Although I think Tom Perez has finally officially come out and said that, if you're not pro-choice, then you don't belong in the Democratic Party. Good for you. You finally chose a position, one that everyone in the Democratic Party already believes in. But that's what needs to be done. That's what needs to be done with healthcare. That's what needs to be done with the minimum wage. What needs to be done with money in politics. The party has to actually take a position. That's how you attract voters. Like, if you are a Democrat, you stand for these things. All right, and that's how you attract people to vote for you. That's how, you expect a candidate with that party to support certain policies. And they're trying to get by without doing anything, without supporting any real policy. Because we're honestly to a point where all the policies that need to be supported, all the stuff that needs to happen, is only going to happen at the expense of their donors, and at the expense of the corporate interests and the money. And really, they've got two choices. They can either accept that fact and get rid of corporate funding, get rid of the corporate cash, and basically model the DNC after basically the proof of concept that was Bernie Sanders' presidential campaign. Or they can continue to lose to the Republicans. And that is scary that they might do that. That's one of my biggest concerns. It's like, we're approaching, we need to change, this party has to change, and there has to be some kind of a counter to the Republicans, to the right wing, right the fuck now. Because if the Democratic Party refuses to get in line and to follow what needs to be done, what the people want, they're going to continue to lose. If they can continue to lose, we're approaching the threshold where there are enough Republican-controlled areas of government where Republicans can change the Constitution. They can actually add constitutional amendments soon. We're getting close, and that is fucking scary. Because a constitutional amendment is a huge deal. It is not something to be taken lightly. And once it's done, it's almost damn near impossible to get. The only constitutional amendment in history to ever be repealed was the Volstead Act, or is the Prohibition. And if that happens, do you think for a second that the Republican Party would not immediately take advantage of being able to amend the Constitution? To add shit that they want, to add to benefit, these people will stop at fucking nothing. And you think they're going to be, you think at some point they're finally going to get to that level and be like, okay, no, we need to slow down here. This is the real shit. We don't need to be fucking with this. Like hell. They're just going to go right for it. They're going to do their donors' bidding. We're going to have, that's my biggest worry. I like to try to think of things a little farther down the road. And a little farther down the road, that's what I see. I see a Constitution of the United States that has been amended and fucked with by the freaking Koch brothers. And that scares the shit out of me. And it needs to scare the shit out of everyone, especially the DNC, who are going to be the cause of it happening if they don't get their shit together and actually start working for the people, for the voters. So, that's my 2 cents. That is basically concludes this segment. So like, comment, subscribe, become a patron if you'd like. Links are all in the description. Follow me on Twitter, on minds.com, on I don't really do Facebook. Twitter.com. VidMe, all that stuff. And yeah, I'll see you next time.